Chapter 11, El Paso, Texas. Samuel stopped telling his story to young Cush and just sat there in deep thought. "Dan-daddy? Dan-daddy!" Samuel heard his small voice calling out his name. Cush looked up at him. "Why are you crying, Dan-daddy?" Samuel got up and started looking for some papers. "Here it is." As he returned and sat down, Prophetess Akila Malik wrote these papers centuries ago, and she said it best: the war for the soul of humanity and planet Earth is real and unrelenting, the hardest to win when the souls for whom you fight are loyal allies of the enemy you face. You are, in effect, fighting a war on two fronts. Worst of all, trying to save someone who doesn't know they are in danger, refuses to believe it when you tell them, and refuses to accept it even after they've seen the proof. That is the mindset of most of those we've encountered for some time now since returning to Louisiana, along with the varied isms, sexism, men thinking they are superior to women, racism, whites and other people of color thinking they are superior to black people or others of different shades than themselves, classism, one group thinking they are superior to another because of what they possess or who they think they are, and elitism, those who think they are the apex and everyone else is the base. The saddest and most frustrating of all is dealing with the truth, blatant and irrefutable, that none of this is anything more than an illusion created by the very enemy you fight. And you are fighting to pull people out of a burning house while they insist the enemy who fans the flames will save them. One definition of hell is the truth seen too late. Turning a few pages, Samuel said, "Here's another one I like by her. It would be nice if my people were as quick to notice the truth as they are of birthday wishes or photos of cute babies. When the Torah says, 'My people perish for lack of knowledge,' it is true. But they also perish because they choose to ignore knowledge when it is given. As Moses said, the people ate, drank, and rose up to play. Because it was easier than facing the truth. Dr. Richard King, scholar, once warned that the perpetual war against black people was never-ending and would continue until we create systems for fighting back. For decades since the end of the Civil War, police and the prison system have been used to control the existence and freedom of the former black slaves and their descendants. The police were originally formed, evolving out of the posse to track down runaway slaves and later to protect whites. Terrified of retaliation following the emancipation, they were at first paid bodyguards. Then they evolved into community patrols and into the municipal guardians they are today. It was never intended that black men should be among them, since they were formed to regulate and control that very group. Statistics don't lie. As Dr. Richard King eloquently pointed out, this war is about revenge, retaliation, and retained control of a community all but a few moral whites and sub-whites believe should have total equality and freedom. We, who were the young resistors of the civil rights era, tried to warn the elders of the day that unless and until we, like our Native American brothers and sisters, demanded our own free and independent nation within a nation, with all the rights and benefits we were thereto entitled, we would never know true freedom. As I said in a speech I once gave to political candidates, freedom ain't free. They let us go, but kept our freedom hostage. The aim is to curtail and reduce our population by reducing and controlling the black male, seen as the greatest threat to white supremacy power and key to reproduction. The statistics speak for themselves. Recognizing this is one thing, changing it is another. Wiping the tears from his eyes, Samuel said, "Sorry, son, just thinking about our people who have died from these STDs that have plagued the land, and I was thinking about them. Anyway, son, that's enough for today. I'm tired." Trying to change the subject, Cush asked, "How do you talk to animals, Dan-daddy?" Samuel, seeing the concern on Cush's face, smiled. That's a hard one to explain. It's more telepathically, but not really. I have to think about how to explain that one and get back to you on that one. When you have been doing something so long, it's just hard to explain it." Samuel looked at Cush. "Son, it's getting late. Come on back tomorrow. Gone on before it gets any darker." The truth was Samuel was still emotionally upset and didn't want to continue his story, but Cush was not sleepy and started asking Samuel more questions about his story. Dandaddy, whatever happened to Uday when he went to Lake Providence? Samuel smiled and pointed at Cliff and Ron, sleeping on a couch across from them. Those are his descendants right there.